I will not regret this decision at all. You got best girls right here in the fucking cover, man, on the main menu. But anyways, what is up, comrades, and welcome to Doki Doki Afterimage. Now, I know it's sus month, but I'm just saying, this mod has potential to maybe or maybe not be sus. I don't know, I'm just kind of, I just looked at it. It looked cool. So, with all that being said, let's just jump into it, shall we? I also like that every time we click on something, it just gives like a splashing water sound. But anyways, let's go. Also, I did see Yuri there in the background. Wind's howling. With this last parade riding its force throughout the carriage, my body abruptly leaning forward. I'm surrounded by countless backpacks, suitcases, beanies, and shoes. Interrupting those glowing screens awkwardly, I step out the subway door. Walking towards the exit, I take a look at the grim sky, imprisoned by cold steels. I bury my face into my collar and walk up the necessary steps, one by one, in order to get up there. Vehicles rushing by, right the moisture onto my face. There are a few passengers around, my eyes mostly fixed on the shining leaves while opening my umbrella. Why do you wear such thin clothes? What? I turned to the other side of the alley. Beneath that well-worn telegraph pole, something was looming, as if someone was there. However, there are no signs of walking nor wet footprints. I close my eyes, then gently open them, to notice nothing but my heart being tightly grabbed by someone I can't quite describe. I walk the path with a rather anxious pace, firmly holding my rein, avoiding Tool. Pale courtyard rails just drag my eyes there unceasingly. My increasing speed could barely fight back its strength. Memories flood in. Every step prints a dialogue. Water flows into the sewer, wave by wave. It's clearer for me than anyone that if I stop by, even only for a second, I will slip. It was totally wrong not to follow the GPS. Must be a much shorter route. However, my body subconsciously walks on this path ever since I got out of the subway station. Who can blame me, though? This is where I used to live, after all. Luckily, I have got somewhere else to visit. Right? Oh, we in Axe? You know, I was expecting this to probably be like a one video playthrough, but I don't know, if we have an axe, then I might have to split this up. Finally, I start treading past foreign buildings, past those LED lights and plastic counters, then present my well-rehearsed lines to those deceitful faces. We take out our documents, exchange smiles, and show off our teeth, while our tongues stir up the saliva, weaving polite words into the paved air. It's like, bro, who fucking thinks like this? I picked up my wet umbrella by the door and stare at the outside street from where I stand still. Suddenly, some shadows approach my back, dodging its engagement. I stagger to the corner. Turns out to be a couple of high school students walking outside, chatting and laughing. I noticed something. It's their collar. Their collar. Ah, great, they just fucking disappeared on me. I just tossed my eyes there. until the shades of red vanished behind the expanding angle between us. I mean, like, she just fucking disappeared, bruh! Ain't that a little strange? Now we're just gonna pretend like two girls just didn't disappear right in front of us? Okay. My fluorescent phone screen tends to become a main role on the stage of the dim sky. I cope with my social apps nonchalantly using one hand. Eventually, I turn off the GPS, simply just walk back to where I came. Orange glitter draws my silhouette cautiously onto the window across the street. I dig forward, eyes on the ground. But a sense of warmth stopped me in the middle of this road, in front of the peaceful courtyard. An unfamiliar car parked on the side of the house, although it's still a few meters from where I stand. The heat under the hood is hard to ignore, as is the light behind the window. Gentle melody paints every inch of the room with its welcoming color. I could hardly recognize anything through the vague windows, but I'm sure that there are many people sitting around a big table. Must be quite a meal. Among their cheerful laughter and clangs of cutlery, two children are looming. You can cook? Really? Maybe you should change the word with eat. You don't believe me? Don't beg me for a taste then. Relaxation from the shower head slipped down my eyelids, lingering with my skin towards the last corner where light could have reached. Highlights hop from one drop to another, blur everything around me into the soothing stream. My nerves seem to ease a little. Nothing's better than a proper hot shower after a busy yet cold, wet day. Have you brought your pillow today? I dry myself up, open the door. My forehead banging against the chilly concrete wall seriously. Nerves resume onto the cello. Freezing air stabs into my bones with no mercy. What the fuck is even happening? When hard steel wires pierce through my eyelids to pull them up, an aged stoop appears in my sight. Hello? An old man saw me react a little, so he gave it another pat on the shoulder. I saw you standing here for a while now. Are you looking for someone? No. Nothing much. Sorry, I was just spacing out. A foul taste of vertigo strikes over me. Street lamps get so gloomy. Pavement starts to curve, to fold, to intertwine, expelling my ugly figure out of this silent street. I sit in front of my desk, fiddling with my boring pen. My brain won't stop replaying it all. Images getting tossed onto the desk and crashed to pieces before I could examine them correctly. I look at my bookshelf at the least appealing corner. It still lies there. Pulling it out, dust begins to wake. I gently turn the pages over. Along with the inferior lines, then I pick up the creased paper, unfold it, and hold it on my palms. I sigh to myself. With the air leaving my mouth, the once floated dusts now start to become more visible under my table lamp. The most familiar handwriting in my life lies there faintly, unable to breathe even once. I try to fold it back, yet my body remains limp. Before long, I stand up and walk to the living room. It's probably midnight now, but I still want to take a walk. It's not like I'll be able to know who or what awaits me in my dreams, or another night without any dreams. I managed to reach the doorknob in darkness. Great, we're back in the exit music house. What a day. I gently open the door. Boo! I'm caught off guard. stagger back against the door frame, barely maintain my balance. I catch my breath, then stand up and look at the doorway. What's happening? I swear I've heard something. Raggy, it's a ghost! Some cyan fog enters my door from the distant darkness outside, forming the tenderest figure in my memory at the last defense line of mine. She slowly steps out of the glim far beyond my reach, descend from the celestial like a helpless star. I feel a salty taste filling my throat. The outline starts to take form, then she waves her hand before my eyes. Seems like she made a mistake to measure the distance. Her hand runs through my face, the thin fog gets disturbed, then reluctantly gather together again. When she finally releases my eyesight, an undeniable familiar face reveals. Oh no, bros, it's a ghost!
Hey! Stalin!
I try my best to stay calm, but billions of strings all get intertwined inside my head as walls begin falling apart, leaving them solemn height behind. Oh no, he's having a fucking heart attack. Oh no, this is not Redux all over again, is it? Overwhelming tides take down every fortress in the blink of an eye. My body trembles under the heavy air hammer, bashing and smashing. I take a glance at her neck. Behind her half-visible sign, there's nothing but the silent doorway, facing the freezing breeze of November. In the cold November rain. I tried to remember more, but my efforts become useless behind my blurry eyes.
Stalin! What's wrong?
Seeing me wordless, she seems to be a bit worried. I close my eyes, forcing them to rotate a little. Tears drip down my shirt. I dare not to open them. I dare not to confirm. My feet sink down the quicksand. What? I give in to the surging memory. Let them drag me down to the bottom. Only the cold air reminds me of my delicate presence.
Hey!
Hearing her call, I open my eyes without any hesitation. The cyan figure's still there. Fog constantly fades at the edge of the outline, as if she were to disappear into the vast world of any second now with the blow of a storm. Luckily, there's no storm tonight, or the vast world. Sayori?
Hi, Stalin. Where are we right now?
Her voice is very hoarse, but her tone remains heart-lifting, as if nothing has ever changed. I chose my words, edited them, considered them. I scrutinized my thousands of phrases and thousands of lines of poems, thousands of times, trying to find the most proper way to reply to her. Finally, I let out a long sigh. Man, I'm letting out a long sigh with your fucking choice of vocabulary, man. What the fuck? You really gave me a heart attack back there. I reach out to pat her on the shoulder, but my hand just goes through her body, leaving only the darkness around the door.
It's always so interesting to see you get flustered.
I didn't know. I was just about to take a walk outside and you suddenly... She lets out a giggle. She still seems still replaying my earlier reaction. Our eyes meet as her laughter begins to dim. Even though we are standing at a close distance, my gaze seems to be carried 1,000 miles away, traveling to the end of time. Here where even light could not reach, I finally found my sky blue eyes. Although they are unable to escape the siege of stiff cyan, I remember their original killer. I see limpid tears emerge from there, soaking her pillow, her Mr. Cow, her paper beneath her pen. What? How are you doing? Bruh. She lowers her head, tears licking through her fingers unstoppably. Her shoulders begin to tremble. In the end, she can no longer hold it, collapses to me. I reach out to embrace her. There's nothing I can come up with at this moment. I think a hug is the best thing I can do now. But she goes right through my body as she crashes to the ground. Endless sorrow kicks in, drowning, slaughtering. A lighting tears my heart in half. I crouch down to lift her up, to hug her tightly. But no matter what I do, there's only the stone-cold air to respond to me. Her crying is the only thing that echoes in my room. Her figure gets stirred to a mess thanks to my movement. The mist is becoming less and less visible. Panic strikes, sending a chill down my spine. I hastily close the front door and then try to rearrange the fog into her body, or rather, her shape. Put my hand on her back to comfort her. I know physics doesn't quite work the way it usually does right now, that I'm trying to use my own strength to hold my hand in the air to match the pose of comforting. Hope this will somehow make her feel better, even though I don't believe in the slightest that the warmth can reach her side. But I know she's by my side, and that's good. I kneel by her side. I couldn't make out a single word from her sobbing. She buries her face in her hands. Her coral hair tumbles down to cover them as her bow shakes in unspeakable fear. Suddenly I let out a bitter chuckle. Sadness and sorrow could no longer be suppressed under my throat. I memorized that Monday. Chair lying on a floor, and the weight when she fell into my arms. The rough rope still tied her neck like a wolf choking its prey, with the dry blood rusting the air. Morning lights gently penetrated her window, but they could never warm her cold body again. I'm sorry. Once again, I try to reach her, but the result is all the same.
It's fine.
She wipes her tears away, trying her best to hold the sobbing back, then looks up at me.
It wasn't your fault.
Her gravely voice is barely recognizable. I can see her throat struggling under that awful bruise on her neck, as if the rope's still there. Does it hurt? She nods. Don't talk, okay? I'll get you some water. I freeze the moment I stand up. Stupid! I can only turn around to face her in awkwardness as I find her clutching the end of my jacket. I reach out to take her hand in mine with disbelief. Out of the blue, hers gets lifted up by me successfully. Sadly, there are too many details in my reality. Soon I find out that she's just cooperating. However, a small sense of warmth flows out from her fingertips. Yet, it disappears before I can pay more attention to it. What How are you doing?
I, um, I'm fine.
She forces a smile. Why? Now's not the time for that. Are you hungry? A sentence pops out of my mouth without me noticing as I'm trying to change the subject.
I'm a fucking ghost, Stalin. How am I hungry?
She looks at the ground, helplessly. This is enough! Her expression is like tons of rocks covering my chest, making it impossible for me to breathe. I have to do something! I storm into the kitchen, cluelessly searching in the fridge. Finally, I manage to find something that can be called food before I put them in the microwave and sit at the table. She follows me into the kitchen. I turn on the light. That's when I notice that she's not standing firmly on the ground, but rather a floating state.
You moved?
Yeah. I transferred to another school. I couldn't stay around there anymore. I look at her in guilt.
What's this?
She points to my PS5 in the corner. Bruh. Oh, come on! You get a PS5, but I don't. Motherfucker. That's my gaming console.
So you began to play games again? I bet you're not attending any clubs either.
Well, actually, there are a lot of activities going around in college, so...
What? You're in college now?
Yeah. After all, it's been a while.
How long?
4 years.
Already? 4 years? Look at you. Didn't comb, didn't shave.
She walks towards me, mildly touching my face.
Jeez, you're worse than me sometimes.
She giggles, running her hand through my long-forgotten hair. However, it feels like nothing but the plain air. I'm speechless. Thinking of it, when was the last time I looked in the mirror? Oh, wait here. Warm smell spreads out all over the kitchen as soon as I open the microwave, bringing at least some ease to this cold night. I put the pasta onto the table. Its red sauce seems especially intriguing under the orange light. I have to say, this even makes me hungry. Her eyes are just about to beam, but it doesn't ease me a bit. I put a fork before her.
Wow, this looks really nice.
Her familiar grasp rings by my ears. The Sayori I know fully comes back as her hand reaches the fork and prepares a pasta massacre when suddenly, the motionless metal stayed where it was like a rope tightening its knot. I clench my fist. Gosh dang it! I curse the fucking pasta in my mind. I want to burn the table. I want to crash the useless microwave.
You can have it. You didn't eat on time, right? I can tell.
I smile. No one knows me better than you.
Otherwise, why would you bring yourself an extra fork?
I take up my fork. Yeah, I can hardly move them. Their weight is beyond all measuring, sealing all my senses. I can't move them an inch, even if I have the power to rewind day and night.
Hurry, it's getting cold.
Well, it's still a bit too hot right now since I heated it too long, and, I want to slap myself in the face. What kind of bad excuse is that? Anyway, I start eating. Food. It's a bit hot, to say the least. It's not my problem to worry about. I just mix up the sauce with random intertwined curves and stuff whatever it turns out to be into my mouth. Their density decreases in my plate. When the last minced meat vanishes behind my teeth, a tear drops to the warmth that lingers above the whiteness. I reach out to take some napkins with my mouth full of pasta. Sayori sits across the table, holding her chin. She seems better.
Your cooking is not so bad after all.
She taps her finger on the table as her legs dangle below it. Her smile looks so beautiful under the only light that illuminates this empty room. How did you know? I gulp down some water, wiping my face with the napkin.
I don't know. It's just that watching you eat makes me feel better. Reminds me of what pasta tastes like, I guess. And the look on your face tells me everything.
She'll kill me if she knew this was just some random microwave food I picked up from some random convenience store. Suddenly she coughs severely. I see her try to touch her throat. I'll drink some more. I think I'm crazy, but I guess grasping the straw is all I can do now. So I take down 3 glasses of water in one go. I notice that she's gulping too. Her facial expression seems a lot easier now. I recall everything she has done after we meet. How do I know that this is actually working? Or is she just pretending to not worry me? I look at the slowly appearing smile on her face. I believe her. Any better? I smile and bittersweet. Just don't touch it, okay? It hasn't healed yet. Let me take a look. I walk over to examine her neck. I mean, it looks very blue to me. Ghost, cyan, mist cannot hide her pain. I know what their color are supposed to be. Great. The texture of woven rope has been imprinted into her soft skin in cold blood, turning her inner flesh out. The valley that orbits her neck is not even scabbed yet, and the blood is still seeping out from it, drip by drip. The grain shivers with her every breath, and the fiber that hasn't left her neck yet is like millions of sharp blades stabbing into the bottom of my heart without remorse. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I said it. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't anyone's fault.
She murmurs to herself. I take her hands, washing them. Her fingertips are stained with blood. The nail of her index finger from her right hand has been ripped over. Some fiber that still sticks on her thumb, dried to a grilled brown along with the blood. Other fingers' condition are probably worse, but I fail to remember more as my eyes water up again. Are you tired? I wipe away my tears. I don't think it was actually supposed to say that. Maybe you should go back and maybe you should go back and fix that. I don't know, or not. I don't know. Is it? Depends if that's that really big of a typo or problem.
No.
She shakes her head.
Please take a walk outside. I want to look at where you live.
That's when I realized that she's still wearing her thin pajamas and her feet are still bare. That's out of the question. At least. But she just chuckles.
What are you thinking? It's not like I can get any colder since I'm a spooky ghost.
Alright. Just wait a bit. I'll go grab a coat. I rushed to the bedroom, opened the wardrobe to take out my warmest jacket. Then, just as I was about to close it, I stopped. I grabbed a beanie. Just in case. Now back. Ah! As I brushed Sayori jump scare.
That's 2 scores for Sayori.
Really, Sayori?
Ah, you have to learn to watch your back.
You'll pay for this.
Well, how about seeing how you will pay for this mess first?
She then begins to check my room, hands behind her back.
Would you look at this? Gosh, what even is this? You know what you
look like? Guess next time you're going to put my name on that list of yours, right? President Sayori?
You bet.
I follow her out of the room with the beanie in my hands. Then I push the doorknob, once again embrace the cold night. Put Sayori behind my back.
So, have we been here before? It doesn't seem so unfamiliar.
Yep, I didn't move that far. Remember that forest we used to hang out? It's not far from here since it's the suburb.
Let me think. Ah! Is there a lake where we buried our time capsule by it?
I smile. Yeah, beneath that biggest tree. We walk past the only street lamp as my shadow gets stretched into the darkness beyond me. Can the others see you?
I'm not so sure, since I just woke up like hours ago and haven't seen anyone else besides you.
You just woke up? I look at her in confusion.
Yeah. Had a long, long dream. Like really long. Dreamed about lots of stuff. I remember hearing you talking with someone, and then when I regained my eyesight, well, you were there, sitting in your bedroom, eating something. But I don't think you noticed me, so...
So that's how you get your first score? We continue to walk under the artificial light.
What about the festival? What happened after, how's Natsuki and Yuri doing?
I guess I'll just tell her the truth. From what Monica told me, the atmosphere was a little dim. Festival fell apart due to a lack of visitors. Didn't help that the ones who were there didn't really care for it. And then, of course, well, you know what happened.
Monica.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. What happened to our club after the festival?
Well, we disbanded because there weren't enough members. But I don't remember anything specific during that time. I just don't remember. I gulp. Now that I think about it, that period was like a glass covered with steam. Only ambiguous pictures come into my eyes. The rest is nothing but a blur. I only attended a few days of school after you left. So many things to fix, so many people to inform. I didn't receive any actual help since I literally got no friends. Hell, even reading those guidelines and filling endless forms were enough to make me a walking dead. I stopped to catch a breath. Your seat, your books, your photo on the class wall. Too many things to face. I couldn't stay there anymore, so I transferred as fast as I could, just to get away. Sayori pauses.
What about Natsuki? And Yuri? Monica?
A string of familiar names pierces my body, overpowering all of my fights and resists. Can't dodge, I can't hide, I can only let the rain of memories soak me from inside out. sorry. I don't quite remember. I didn't see Natsuki and Yuri after the funeral, I suppose. I don't even remember their expressions that day. Guess sometimes it's better to just leave a person alone. As for Monica, a pair of emerald eyes suddenly What was that? She's... Gosh, why is it so hard to remember? I frown, as if some worm slide into my clothes. The discrepancy in the memory questions my brain unstoppably. I think I've had met Monica after that. We talked. Like a lot. But it feels like I wasn't there. That I wasn't a part of it. When I try to remember more of it, the memory just abruptly jumps to my new school part. It doesn't match. It doesn't make sense.
Stalin, are you alright?
She reaches out to my hand.
It must be really tough. It must be a tough time for you. But it's okay to forget. Maybe it's even a bliss to not remember all of it, right? Let's talk about your college.
Her tone is returning to herself. Sure. Where do you want me to begin with?
Start with your new club president.
Huh? That's... We walk and talk. From my roommates to our new library. From that twisted statue in the campus to the dust disturbing their steel eaves. I mentioned to her that I am keeping a sunflower in my room. And that big fat cat can't even roll herself over to thanks to the students' treats. And some weird fellows sitting behind the bushes, drawing the flow of life. And of course, my new club president. There's still a literature club in my college, which is a good thing. Although everyone seems to prefer talking about music and movies, I still keep the habit of writing poetry. I tell Sayori about the notebook I was reading earlier. I keep every one of her poems there, along with my mindless sentences and phrases. From moist to dry, from dry to moist, all the way down until the end of the last page, to what's behind the back cover. Dozens. Hundreds? Maybe thousands. I can't quite remember. Just as I can't remember how many hours in 4 years, 1 month plus 1 day, nor how many seconds in 30,784 hours. Time never gives you a break. I was lingering in my comfort zone just a minute ago. Then I got thrown away into a place where 2 parallel lines meet a minute after, chasing the glassy butterfly at the edge of my reality. My friending, we move on to Act 2, my friending. Like, you know what? Should we end it here? You know what? I feel like we should end it here. Anyways, comrades, this is where we conclude for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And of course, new channel, subscribe. I mean, you might have to check to see whether you're subscribed or not. But, hey, subscribe, turn on that bell, for this is the one-stop shop for daily TDLC content. And as always, until next time, so long, comrades.
I need an anime girl that be fucking with me. A little badass bitch that gets down on her knees, screaming out senpai while she taking the D. Baby girl, I'ma have you yelling kimochi. I need an anime girl that be fucking with me. A little badass bitch that gets down on her knees, screaming out senpai while she taking the D. Baby girl, I'ma have you yelling kimochi.